engage. We're being firewalled and flushed.
Boom! What is up? My name is Sim, and in this video I'm gonna teach you how to do a salt flush colon cleanse.
Flush? Yep.
Well, basically a salt flush is when you consume large amounts of water with some salt very quickly, and that's going to actually, promote the bowel movements. It's gonna clean out the intestines from certain toxins and waste material, and it can definitely work on curing constipation, indigestion, and generally fighting against this bloatedness. I'm not feeling constipated or inflamed, but I still think that it's a good idea to practice these kinds of detoxification practices, every once in a while. At least 1 to 2 times a month, it's a good idea to clean your bowels and to also heal the gut in a sense.
Ever been to a water park?
Because even if you are eating a very healthy diet with a ton of vegetables, fruit, starches, meats, eggs, fish, natural foods, you still get clogged up in a sense because you're not digesting all the food entirely, and your gut bacteria also gets, it gets overpopulated in a sense. We need these periods of fasting and feasting, but we also need to keep our detox pathways alive while we're eating, so the salt flush is an amazing thing. And, I would suggest that it's going to actually promote the nutrient partitioning and the nutrient absorption of the foods that you eat afterwards as well, because your gut is literally the first line of defense between the food you eat and the energy you produce.
Sweet and salty.
So the recipe is very simple. You get yourself this large jar of about 1 to 2 liters, and you're gonna fill it up with slightly warm water. You don't want it to be boiling, you don't want it to be cold either. You want it to be this kind of a mellow, almost like a tea, like a very soothing tea that you can gallow, because you're gonna have to you're gonna have to jug down this entire thing within a few minutes as fast as possible, because to trigger the intestinal bowel movements. So yeah, you have to make sure that you're not gonna hurt your tongue or something, or hurt your throat or anything like that. It has to be kind of warm water, and warm water is gonna improve digestion. It's gonna make the flush more faster, and yeah, it's generally more healthier. So we have this jar over here. We're gonna fill it up with some water that we've been heating up on the stove over there, and then we're gonna add the salt as well. We're gonna let it cool down a bit. But what the salt you can use is the most best ones are probably like regular sea salt, this unrefined sea salt. It has to be pure. The water has to be pure. You can use distilled water, or if your own tap water is clean, then you can use that. But yeah, it has to be pure because it's gonna go into the gut, and yeah, it may cause some issues if it's refined. So you don't want to be using regular white salt, regular table salt. You want to use unrefined sea salt with the crystals. You can also use like pink Himalayan rock salt. It may have some micro mineral benefits, but in general, if you're doing like a salt flush, then I would suggest that you don't want to be worried about getting some magnesium or minerals. You would simply want to, get the salt in and salt out, so as fast as possible. What you don't want to be using is iodized salt, because it's refined. It may be contaminated with some heavy metals, and like it's gonna have like a negative effect on the gut. So regular sea salt or pink Himalayan rock salt, those are the 2 best ones for doing this kind of a salt flush.
Salt.
For 1 to 2 liters of water, you want to use 2 tablespoons of sea salt. So that's a perfect ratio for that. You don't want the tablespoon to be like a heaping tablespoon of salt. You want it to be kind of, balanced out. Just exactly like 1 tablespoon of sea salt. We're gonna put it in here. We're gonna make the second one slightly smaller, because the first one was indeed a heaping tablespoon. So this is slightly smaller tablespoon. Throw it in here. Mix it all together. We're gonna drink it, and we're gonna have to do it very fast as possible, in a sense of you want to make sure that you consume it at least within 5 minutes at least. So let's start doing it. Oh, still hot. God damn it. Oh. Oh.
So we're done.
Man. The taste isn't that bad. It tastes very good in a sense. It's like soup almost because of the high amounts of salt and sodium. It's difficult to get it all into your body because it's just so much water. And the idea is to consume it very fast because it's going to, the flush effect of it is because you're flooding yourself with that high amounts of water. It has to be kind of gulped down quite fast.
No, I'm totally done. You should have seen your face.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna wait for maybe like 20 to 30 minutes and we're gonna sit back on our side on the bed, and that's going to allow the salt water to kind of travel through the intestinal tract, clean out the toxins, and also take those waste material with it and kind of cleanse the colon in this sense.
60% of the time, it works every time.
So we've been lying here for about 30 minutes and yeah, I think it's time. We need to go to the bathroom.
Flushed.
But yeah, took a dump and definitely could feel that the cleanse worked in the sense because your bowels, they've been, you might experience slightly, it's not diarrhea in a sense, it's simply your bowels are moving and it's flushing out some of the toxins and some of the residue of food that's left there. So feeling okay, you're feeling slightly refreshed afterwards, and yeah, you feel like $1,000,000. At minimum, you would want to do it once a month, but you can also do it like once a week or something like that. You just have to make sure that you follow it up with adequate hydration and adequate electrolytes afterwards so that you're not losing them.
I don't know what to do. I was so scared. I was so scared.
I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Click the like, subscribe, notification bell as well. My name is Seam. Stay cleansed, stay empowered.